So now we are going to learn how we can defend against checkmate by counter checking. Counter checking can be the fun and effective way of defending. So counter checking can be fun and effective way of defending, but what good is a counter attack if you lose on the next turn? Your opponent won't mind losing a queen or a rook because he wins the game. Checkmate is more important than who has the most points. Yet sometimes a counter attack can be useful to prevent mate. You launch a counter attack on the king, and this is called as counter checking. Your opponent has no time to checkmate your king. First, he needs to save his king. Afterwards, things can be very different on the board. You might be able to escape checkmate now. So let's have a look at this example. The black queen wants you to checkmate on this green square, and there is nothing white can do to prevent that, except counter checking with the queen. What he does, he moves the queen beneath the black pawn, that is queen c4. It's a check. Now black cannot checkmate. He needs to get out of check first. So the black king flees. So the king moves to h8. And now the black king, after it moves for her new spot, the white queen can protect the mating square from f1. So we have protected that f1 square. So this is how you save the mate. So this is the first example. So let's have this example here. Again, the black plans to give a checkmate with the queen on the green square. This one. White can put the king in check. So he gives a check and at the same time attacks the bishop. So it's a check on this king and also it is attacking this bishop. This is called as a double attack. The king moves out of check, the king moves to h8, and now white can defend by capturing. The queen takes the bishop, an important attacker, and now it's not a checkmate. So let's have this example. White has few options here. Black wants to checkmate with the rook to c1, and whatever he does, mate always seem to be the outcome. Black rook moves next to the king while it is defended by the bishop. The only one thing white can do is to give a check with his bishop. So he gives a check with the bishop. White king, the black king is in check, so the king has to get out of check. So the king moves to g8. Black king has to move the king into safety. And of course, checkmate for white is still around the corner, but now white can defend his king. He moves the bishop between the black bishop and the mating square c1, and the attack is blocked and the king is safe. So this is how you can save the mate. Now in this position, the black rook wants to checkmate on this green square. White counter checks with the rook. The black king has to step, so the king steps by. That is a good news for white. Now he moves the king into the corner, and let's see how does that help. Black can still move the rook to the first rank, giving a check, but now white can defend himself. He put his own rook between the king and the black rook. and wow, you have defended the mate. So this is how you defend the mate. It is not easy to come up with such tricks in a real game, and that is why we are going to practice counter check, and you would use that to manage to escape mate in this way. So what you have to do, you have to defend against mate by counter checking, and this then continue defending by means of capturing, protecting, blocking, or moving anyway.